A Hero Returns in Action Comics 957. So with Rebirth, the Action Comics got renumbered back to its original numbering, and this sets the stage for a new story involving the original Superman from the pre-Flashpoint universe. In this issue, we also see Lex Luthor, who is sort of taking over the role of Superman. It's something that he's always wanted to do, and now he has a president for it. The New 52 Superman's dead. He thinks there is no Superman, so he can now finally come in and take all the glory and everything that he thought Superman had taken from him in the past. And obviously that doesn't sit right with Clark White, and he ends up donning his Superman costume and going out after Luthor. It ends as well as you think it would. They both end up fighting, but what was really interesting is that there was this little bank robbery that was going on, which was sort of Luthor's reveal, and it looked as though Luthor had hired these men to sort of act as his sort of big coming out parade, and that's something Luthor would do. He wants to have the grand theatrics and everything. It looks like there would a distraction for another group to steal something off a floor above in the building above them. That thing turns out to be Doomsday, not the Doomsday of the New 52. This appears to be the Doomsday of the pre-Flashpoint universe. He is actually in that green costume. He has all those cables and stuff running over him. He doesn't have a hand tied behind his back though. So yeah, that's really confusing what that is, and even more confusing is that Clark Kent is running around, and no one knows who it is, and everyone thinks him and Superman are imposters, and no one knows what's going on, and I don't even know what's going on. I'm really intrigued to see what's happening. I do think maybe because it happened in the original Death and Return of Superman story, that maybe that Eradicator who thought he was Superman back in that story, maybe they're sort of changing it and he thinks he's Clark Kent in this story, maybe? I'm not too sure, because I know there's a couple of issues coming up that involve the Eradicator. I'm not sure how they're going to involve him, but that's going to be really interesting. But also, we have Doomsday back, and, we've got Lex Luthor there and Superman there, so it's going to be really interesting to see how those two characters interact with Doomsday, especially since one of them has fought, died, and returned from fighting him before. And what I thought was really cool is that the last story of the pre-Flashpoint universe before it changed over into the New 52 was a Doomsday-centric storyline. It was Reign of Doomsday. This new story is the Doomsday story, so it's sort of like that. There's that connect, which I thought was a nice little touch. I don't know whether it was intentional, whether it was just something that happened by pure coincidence, but I thought that was really cool, and makes me think, because in that story, Eradicator his mind had to be put inside a Doomsday clone because his body was sort of degenerating and everything, but that clone died, or apparently died, so maybe this clone of Doomsday, or whatever this thing is in the green suit of Doomsday, is Eradicator, maybe? I don't know, I just know Eradicator's going to be involved somehow, and I'm just trying to piece together what's going on. But yeah, really cool issue, and what was even cool is that we had Lois sort of teaching John stuff about how he should act and everything, and, never use your powers to cheat at anything a normal person would do. He complains about not being able to unpack stuff in seconds, and his parents say, no, you gotta use your powers only for dire situations. You can't cheat your way through life. And she's always telling him that, fighting is not the first option you do. You gotta, talk it out and everything. And that's pure Superman mythos stuff. I'm really glad they're sort of teaching their son that, and I'm really interested to see if they're going to continue it in through Super Sons and everything. But yeah, really cool book. I really enjoyed this. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.